Guangzhou, a city where heritage meets modern life and every meal tells a story. I spent 3 days exploring this vibrant part of southern China, from historic temples and old Cantonese neighborhoods to Michelin-listed dim sum and massive fashion malls. Whether you are planning a trip to China or simply curious about how Guangzhou feels today, here's a detailed walkthrough of my experience. After spending few days in Changsha, I took the high-speed train from Changsha to Guangzhou. The ride took less than 2 hours. My friend had bought the tickets online 2 weeks in advance. While these were the second-class tickets, the seats were still very comfortable. You can bring your own food and drinks on board, or you can also buy on the train. They sell various snacks and also bento sets. You can also get drinking water on the train. It was a comfortable ride with scenic views. When I arrived at Guangzhou, I booked a TT ride to go to the hotel. I'll be staying at a Tour S hotel which is located by the river and it's just 10 minutes walk away from Beijing Road pedestrian walk. My room overlooked the Pearl River, and the first thing I noticed was how quiet and calming the view was. The bed, pillow, and blanket were comfortable and high quality, perfect for winding down at night. They also provide complimentary bottled drinks. The bathroom sink area was quite small, but it's good that the shower area and toilet are separated. After checking in, I visited Shamian Island, a peaceful, tree-lined area that feels completely different from the city's urban energy. Shamian was once a foreign concession during the 19th century where European trading houses and embassies were set up. I stopped by Starbucks, housed inside one of the heritage buildings. I had muffin and coffee there. Then I continued exploring the area. You can definitely find lots of photo spots at Shamian. One of the charming stops was a retro-style hotel lobby filled with vintage decor. One thing that surprised me was that this McDonald's sign is a very popular photo spot. I stepped into the church at Shamian, a small peaceful space with arched windows. It felt serene, a quiet contrast to the colonial buildings outside. For dinner, I chose an outdoor cafe with a camping theme. They also have indoor seating area. I ordered a lime green tea as well as bacon carbonara. The open-air setting was really relaxing. Right across the cafe, I stepped into White Swan Hotel. The lobby featured a serene koi pond and an indoor waterfall. After that, I went back to the hotel area. The hotel was located at one end of Beijing Road. There is a mall nearby with very cute colonial sandals. You can take photo against this backdrop. There are quite a number of popular restaurants and eateries around this area. I I walked into Tianhecheng to see what shops are inside. Within the mall, this Xiangqun restaurant seemed to be very famous as well. I bought some accessories from this shop. I also visited this bookstore which has got lots of cute merchandise. As I walked back to the hotel, I passed by this fruit shop. Saw these huge longans and simply had to buy. Since the hotel was just by the river, I also walked towards the riverside. I could actually see the Canton Tower from here. The jetty for river cruise was under renovation, but the lit-up skyline still made for a peaceful evening view. I went back to the room and the view was still very nice. I also ate the longans and the longans were so fresh. The next morning, I had breakfast at a nearby shop that felt familiar. The food here looks similar to what we have in Singapore and Malaysia. I got the freshly prepared soya milk and also the lo mai gai. The lo mai gai there tasted less salty than the ones we have here. It was also interesting to see how they prepared Chee Cheong Fun. They call it Cheong Fun and you can add meat, eggs and vegetable inside. After breakfast, I went to Chen Clan Ancestral Hall. Built in 1894, it was a place for scholars from the Chen family to prepare for the imperial exams. Today is a museum of folk art with beautifully preserved wood, brick and ceramic carvings that reflect Lingnan culture. I like this part where they show how a Cantonese house looked like in the past. Next, I took a TT to Yong Qing Fang, a revitalized neighborhood with narrow alleys and preserved buildings. The highlight was Bruce Lee's ancestral home. You get to experience how it's like to be inside an old Cantonese house, as well as to see the history of Bruce Lee's success in the film world. Near to Bruce Lee's ancestral home, there was this rooftop nearby which you can find the view overlooking Cantonese Opera Museum's dome. I continued walking down the street and saw this traditional dessert shop called Bai Hua. To cool off from the heat, I had a bowl of cold red bean soup. The soup there is thicker and less sweet than what we usually have. I like this view at Yong Qing Fang, which looked like a scene out of a period drama. I walked towards Cantonese Opera Museum, tucked behind old facades. Other than showcasing opera costumes, there is also a stage where sometimes there could be opera performances. Then it was time for lunch. I chose this restaurant serving Cantonese cuisine. I ordered the steamed chicken with vegetable on rice. The chicken was tender while the rice had that comforting texture and taste. There were also other restaurants and food choices. Then I walked to the main road and could see other gelato shops as well as cafes. Some of the traditional shops are still around. You can also rent Chinese traditional costume around this area. I walked towards Lychee Bay. It was so peaceful to walk along its banks. It was as if time had slowed down. From the other end of Lychee Bay, I took a TT ride to APM. It's a huge fashion mall that's popular with younger locals. There were so many clothing shops, mostly affordable fast fashion. The selection was really overwhelming, so it's best if you already know what you're looking for. In the evening, I went to Beijing Road pedestrian walk. The crowds had picked up and the area was buzzing with energy. There were lots of street food options. Surprisingly, the shop with the longest queue was this Vietnamese restaurant. I walked into Big Buddha Temple and was really impressed. The view would be nicer at night, so I went for my dinner first. I chose this Cantonese restaurant. The staff had recommended claypot rice. Had to wait quite some time for the rice to be cooked. Unlike the claypot rice in Singapore and Malaysia where we usually have chicken, this one came with pork and Chinese sausage. The rice at the bottom was crispy and slightly burnt, and it tastes less salty but still flavorful due to the rice grains used. After dinner, I walked back to Big Buddha Temple again. It looks so beautiful and bright at night. The temple dates back to over 1,000 years ago, just like Beijing Road as well. As I walked back to hotel, I also stopped by Cha Ji. I was surprised that the most popular flavors here were different from the most popular flavor in Singapore and Malaysia. So I ordered the most popular flavor here, which was jasmine green milk tea. The next morning, I walked towards Beijing Road pedestrian walk again to find breakfast. There is a Michelin-recommended Tao Tao Ju at Tianhecheng. I arrived just before 10 a.m. and got a seat without waiting. I tried their signature red Chee Cheong Fun. I like its crunchiness as you bite into it. Also tried the milk custard pineapple bun, which I didn't like the milk. The har gow there was packed densely with prawns. Also had the turnip cake only because I like eating it in Singapore and Malaysia. For the char siu bao there, the white part was thick and fluffy. Naturally, I couldn't finish all the food and had to pack back. By the time I left the restaurant, there was a long queue outside. I then took a TT ride to go to Tianhe Shishang Guangchang. It's a large underground mall that stretches on and it's hard to find the exit. I happened to chance into this Malaysian food restaurant. It's also recommended by Michelin. As I was already very full, I only tried the teh tarik there, and it tasted decent. Around the mall, there will be many areas with these massage chairs. There are lots of fashion stores here. And you can also find cute accessories or toys. I saw a claw machine shop. And I got this Hello Kitty on my first try. There are also shops selling souvenirs and snacks. The mall is really huge and there is one part which they call Old Shanghai Street. Everything is quite nostalgic here. But somehow around this section, you can also find VR games and a haunted house. There are really lots of food choices around this area. I walked and walked until I reached another mall, Park Central. It is a more modern mall with local designs and international brands. There are also cafes here, so I had lunch at Gaga Cafe, a bright plant-filled cafe known for brunch-style meals. I ordered avocado toast with shrimp omelette, topped with a drizzle of mala sauce. I also shopped a bit at this shop, No One Else. When I went to the ground level, there was this cafe with a long queue. The area outside the mall looked very spacious and there is also a park. Weather was super hot, so everyone was carrying umbrella. Then I took a TT ride to go back to Beijing Road. It was rather hard to find massage shop at the pedestrian walk, but I managed to find this simple shop. The massage was average but much needed. In the evening, I had cha tea again, but this time trying out the second most popular flavor, Osmanthus Oolong Milk Tea. After that, I went back to the hotel room. For dinner, I had wonton mee at the shop opposite the hotel. The soup was light and the noodles were firm and chewy. The dumplings were packed with juicy prawns. Then I went back to the room to pack my luggage. Early next morning, I had a local cup noodle in the hotel room. And then I checked out and went to the airport. As I met up with my friend and her family at the airport, I also joined them for a light breakfast. This tuo he tang soup really served flavorful soup. I tasted a bit of the porridge, which was so smooth and creamy. Inside the airport after checking in, we also managed to buy some souvenirs to bring back. For the flight from Guangzhou to Singapore, Scoot used the Dreamliner, which was very comfortable and spacious. Guangzhou surprised me, not with loud landmarks, but with its quiet details, from historical temples and Bruce Lee's old home to smoky claypot rice and silky dim sum. The city offered a calm but layered experience. It reminded me that some of the best travel moments come from walking slowly, eating simply, and paying attention. And if you are curious about where I was before Guangzhou, my video on Changsha is coming up next. Thanks for watching!